Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hello.
How's it going, Mario?
Hi. It's fine. We're here to watch and comment the match here between Nardi and Paul. They have just started in my stream. I don't know if you all are more or less at the same time.
I'm actually watching.
The match
Sorry,
just
go
started.
ahead.
That's all. Sorry, on you go.
Yes, I was just saying that I am watching on the tennis TV stream, and Nardi just won the
Yeah,
first point.
same.
Yeah.
Nice one. Well, guys, I mean, I don't know if everybody knows who Vatsal is, but I believe you are making your your second appearance in Talking Tennis. Am I right?
Yeah, so the last one was actually not a watch along, but it was just like a video that I'd recorded and sent over to the producer. Yeah, so he just edited it and put it together in one of the content pieces. So yeah, that was it.
Lovely. Well, lovely to meet you and be talking tennis with you. I have met Mario before. Mario, what have you been up to over the last couple of weeks, months?
Yeah, I've been here here and there. Yeah, I actually stay here every week for covering the ATP weekly show, and yeah, at times also some watch alongs, and it's always fine, and it's a pleasure for me to be here with you once again.
Good. Well, Vatsal, welcome. Do you want to tell everybody watching just a little bit about yourself as we watch the man of the moment, Luca Nardi, taking on Tommy Paul? We'll get on to the Djokovic win at some point. I'm sure he's the man that everybody is talking about. But Vatsal, yeah, just want to tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe a couple of your favourite players and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. So I am a huge tennis fan. Started watching tennis in 2008 or 9, I would say. I also play tennis, played for my university, undergrad, and so on. And I'm especially passionate about Indian tennis. So I run this along with my friends and like colleagues. I run this website and this social media handle called Indian Tennis Daily.
Yeah.
So if you guys want, you can give it a follow because we try to focus on Indian players doing well on the tour. And speaking of Luca Nardi and Indian tennis players, there's a special connection there. Like I'm
I
not
know what
sure
you're
if
going
you
to say. I know what you're going to say, Vatsal.
yeah, so so there were actually a lot of memes going around as well. Like uh, Luca actually in his last two tournaments before Indian Wells, he lost to two Indian players, Sumit Nagal and Ramkumar Ramanathan, and then he goes on to beat Djokovic in his next tournament. So that's a little bit crazy, and all the Indian tennis fans were like, "Oh wow! I mean, that could have been Sumit or that could have been Ramkumar." So yeah, it was just exciting to see that.
Yeah, no, you are right, and yes, I actually saw a tweet of yours to that stating that a couple of days ago. So good on you for promoting the Indian tennis connection. And where are you chatting to us from tonight? Is it in Europe that I think you said beforehand?
Yeah, so I am based in Paris currently. What about the two of you?
Yes, well, you might be able to tell by my strong Scottish accent, which I will try and slow down and dilute for you. You and Mario, me and Mario have been on a stream before, where we've managed to get over the language barrier, haven't we, Mario?
Yeah, I'm just to answer myself. I am from southern Italy, and yeah, I'm currently based here, and I've always been here since I was born, and yeah, so of course it's my presence has also been useful since Italian tennis has been very successful lately, and yeah, we'll just. At least I will just hope that all the guys keep going as they are going right now.
Mario taking credit for the rise in Italian tennis. I like it. That's like me saying I'm the reason that Andy Murray won 3 slams. So, okay, so we're on to Luca Nardi. he's got game point in his first service game. In fact, in my stream, he's actually just held serve. Mario, I'll maybe start with you because of the Italian connection. You've actually got a vested interest in this match, haven't you? For a couple of reasons, not just because of the Italian patriarch in you, but yeah, tell us about your love for Tommy Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I've always found, first of all, his game very enjoyable, and since the beginning, since he was rising, and yeah, then I've actually watched a lot of his matches, and I follow him and members from his team also on the social media, so I also always know a lot about how he's going and how he's doing, basically day by day, and yeah, nothing it just happens. And right now I'm I'm in a moment where I actually try to watch every single match, and yeah, that's it basically. So
you're talking tennis's resident Tommy Paul guru. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah, so basically, as soon as I will go to a tennis tournament, one of the goals will be to meet him.
Yeah, well,
but yeah,
sure one day.
It's fine.
And yeah, so I mean, just to finish with that, then, in terms of your loyalties here, then, as a Tommy Paul super fan, shall we say, and of course, Luca Nardi, the man that everybody's talking about over the Indian Wells 10-day tournament so far. I mean, I suppose Emma Navarro's maybe got a run for Luca Nardi, but yeah, shockwaves through the tennis world the other night. So where are your loyalties going for this one? Have you got a head and a heart, or are they both the same? Are they all the same?
Yeah, what to say about Nardi? Start of the year, he had some ups and downs actually, and it wasn't really in the air a big win like the one he got 2 days ago in that crazy night session match against Djokovic, who he's not playing the best tennis of his life right now, but it still takes you a lot to beat Novak Djokovic, and especially on the hard courts where he always played his best tennis in his career. And yeah, Nardi actually showed that he has great qualities. He came fearless into the court. He also said in the interviews that at the beginning he was like, okay, I hope to just win a few games, just to make my presence here honorable. But then he actually stated that during the first few games, he was finding himself good in the rallies. He was feeling like he could have kept up with the level expressed by Djokovic during the point, and so he actually started to believing it rather quickly. Indeed, he broke in the fifth game, so he won the first set, and yeah, after that. But it's been incredible, especially the third set, because then Djokovic won the second. Maybe I thought like, okay, Novak is trying to improve, to raise his level, and Nardi played actually an amazing third set, and it was really good to see. It's always nice to watch the strongest player in the field going to face each other in the latest stages of the tournament, but having some also shocking upsets and see these young players going well. I think it's always nice for every tennis fan.
Yeah. And Vaso, I don't know, did you manage to watch any of that, the Djokovic Nardi match? I mean, nobody saw that one coming at all, did they?
Yeah, so I did watch the highlights. I couldn't watch it live, but I think I would like to talk a little more about the match before. I know a lot has been said about his win against Djokovic, but I think the win against Zizan Zhang in the round before playing Djokovic was also very commendable, because that was Nardi's first top 50 win as well. And so yeah, I mean that win is also something important, I feel, because that is the one that gave him the chance to play Novak. So I feel like more credit should be given to him for getting to the stage where he could actually play Novak. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, shockwaves, as I mentioned earlier on. So, guys, where do we think, in terms of this matchup, and it's sometimes, or it's always the way in tennis, you overcome one almighty challenge in the face of Novak Djokovic, and then the next round, Tommy Paul is no mean feat either. Are we seeing maybe one of those kind of events where you beat the biggest in the tour and then you lose next round, or does he have the ability to push on further and beat Tommy Paul?
I mean, it's always superbly difficult to to react immediately after getting such a huge win, but also because of all what it means for all these young players, regardless of where they currently are in the ranking or at which stage of their process or their path are, always taking a win against an opponent you have watched for since you were a kid, playing and winning Grand Slams and playing at the highest stages possible. It's always difficult then to bounce back, but we have already seen quite a tense start to the match. Both players already have had a break point, 2 for Paul in the first game and 1 also for Nardi in the second one. I'm leaning towards Paul winning this one, but Nardi is playing well right from the start, so we can have a good match.
Yeah. I mean, nobody expected, least of all him, maybe expected him to be sitting here on court today. He had a fairly comfortable service hold there. But yeah, Vatso, sell to me how Nardi can win this match then.
Yeah, I think tennis is a confidence game, because when you're top 200 in the world, like your game is not that different from someone who's ranked say 50 versus 100. It's more about confidence, how you're feeling, and I feel like Nardi, who's a youngster, who was one of the greatest under 14 players actually, along with Rune and Alcaraz in Europe. He always had the ability, and I think that the self-belief probably that was lacking over the last few years would be at an all-time high now after beating Djokovic and also cementing his place in the top 100 with that win. So I think that confidence will translate into this match, I feel. And as we can already see, he has had a confident start. And like you said, Tommy Paul is no pushover, because he's also going through one of the best phases of his career. His career high ranking of 12 was in October last year. He just won the title in Dallas last month, then made the final in Delray Beach the week after. So he's going through a really great phase as well. Playing at home, let's not forget. So when we talk about American tennis players, we talk about Fritz, Tiafoe, Shelton. But I feel Tommy Paul has been sort of under the radar. You don't talk about him a lot. You don't hear about him a lot, but he's also right up there if you see the rankings. So yeah, I mean, Paul may not sound like a big name to play to people who don't follow tennis closely, but he has been consistently in the top 20 in the last couple of years. And he's also done super well at Indian Wells. Like, he's made at least the third round in the last 3 consecutive years. So he likes these courts. He's playing at home, but I think Nardi will be more than just competitive in this match. So it'll be interesting to see.
So I mean, I'm gathering from that, guys, that you both maybe think this goes at least 3 sets. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, probably, or maybe 2 tight sets. I think that's my
Maybe a
prediction.
tiebreaker thrown in there.
Yep. I think the first set goes to a tiebreak.
I mean, I was thinking that's an interesting point. In terms of Tommy Paul being the American at Indian Wells, the kind of home support. But I wonder if, many of the kind of fans, I mean, it doesn't look too full in there at the moment, just by the TV pictures. But I just wonder if any of you guys got any thoughts about the fact that Luca Nardi has shocked, Djokovic. Everybody loves an underdog. Everybody loves, a player who comes, 123 in the world and beats the number one player. Do you think he can maybe, he's maybe brought over some of those fans from Monday night, and basically it might be a bit more split than just everyone going for Tommy Paul?
It's a very difficult question, actually, because a lot of things can happen. Yeah, for sure. I think that maybe the crowd, kind of maybe adopt you during the week. If you go there as the underdog and do well and beat Djokovic, I don't know. For example, many people was wondering, wow, they're cheering for Nardi in this match against Djokovic. But in my opinion, it's quite normal, because the audience usually is wants to see a close match, so maybe they start cheering for the underdog right from the start, from the beginning. And then, I mean, Nardi also conquered the crowd by actually playing very well, and being protagonist of some very, very positive rallies. So I feel like he kind of conquered that support, and I don't know, but it's difficult as a question. I have to be honest that I don't have a real answer. So yeah, maybe yes, I would say.
You're doing yourself a disservice there, Mario. I think that was a decent answer. Don't you worry. I mean, I'm noticing so far that Paul, I think, is trying to shrink the court a little bit. I think Dan Hale had mentioned that Nardi had hit 34 winners against Djokovic, which is an astounding stat, considering we're talking about one of the greatest defenders of a rally of all time. So 34 winners is a high number in that. And I can see Tommy Paul, he's come into the net a couple of times. He's trying to shrink the court. But so just tell me about, can you tell me a little bit about the Paul game then? For people who maybe don't know the Paul game as well, he's quite athletic, isn't he? But what else has he got in his locker?
So, to be very honest, I have not seen a lot of him. I've seen the big matches, obviously. From what I have understood, like, he seems to be someone who is very consistent. Like, he would not blow you away or off the court with his big serve or big forehand in particular, but like he can keep the ball in and do that for hours. So I feel like he's someone who can be consistent across surfaces as well. Like, as his results have shown, he has a title in Eastbourne, which is on grass. He has an indoor title in Stockholm. Sorry, he didn't make the title at Eastbourne, but he made the final, so that's also a good result. So yeah, he's been consistent across surfaces, and you're not top 20 in the world by doing well on just one surface, except for if you're good on clay, because there are a lot of tournaments on clay. But yeah, so he's been really consistent in the last 2-3 years, and that he's been rewarded with a top 20 spot. So yep.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's a consistent guy, isn't he? And like you say, under the radar a little bit, in the shadow of maybe Fritz Tiafoe and Ben Shelton these days as well. Just noticed that he absolutely jumped in a Nardi second serve at 15-all, and again finished off the point at the net to go 15-30. Nardi has just won a bit of a battling rally where Tommy Paul has just netballed it. So, I mean, most of these games so far, apart from a fairly comfortable Nardi hold a few minutes ago, I mean, every single game has been competitive. I wonder if Nardi's maybe still living on the adrenaline of all the kind of spotlight that he's had over the last few days. But so, away from this match, just for a couple of seconds, I'm sure your man, Sagal, you were watching him earlier in the event. What else have you been taking from Indian Wells over the last 7 days?
Did you mention Nagal?
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, so yep, it's been a really interesting week. Just like Nardi, Nagal also got a lucky loser into Indian Wells, and I was actually in touch with his fitness trainer while all this was going on, and we were discussing, is there a chance for a lucky loser, which spot would
He
be
was
like.
Nadal's replacement, wasn't he?
Sorry.
He was Nadal's replacement, wasn't
Correct. That's right. That's right. So yeah, we were actually hoping that maybe Raonic withdraws because that was more likely to happen, and then we would have a Nagal versus Nadal match. But Sumit's fitness trainer actually said that instead of having Nagal versus Nadal, he would prefer a seeded player to withdraw, because then you don't get to play the first round. You're directly into the second round, and if you win a round, you get more points and more prize money. And then, unfortunately for Nagal, unfortunately for Nardi, Nardi got the seeded spot, and then he had one win, and then he could play Djokovic, and then he beat Djokovic. So then his fitness trainer texted me. He was like, "Oh, that was our slot."
That could have been your man.
Yeah, exactly. So that was interesting actually, but happy for Nardi because Sumit made top 100 after beating Nardi. So, and that match was essentially going to decide who makes top 100. Like if Nardi had beaten Sumit in the Chennai final, then Nardi would have made top 100 then itself, and
Yeah.
not with the Djokovic win. So yeah, a lot of interesting overlaps.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, a little bit. Can I take you down a little hypothetical here? That's all. Just to kind of, I know it's very, very hypothetical, but let's just say Sumit had played Djokovic, and let's just say he somehow won that match. What would that have done for Indian tennis, like for him to play and beat the world number one? And I know it's very hypothetical, but I just thought, just when you're saying that, I'm just thinking, imagine that had happened just slightly different.
If that happens, India is going to go crazy. Like for Italy, it may not be as huge because you already have Sinner, Berrettini, and you've seen a lot of top players consistently. Like you've done well in tennis over the years. But for an Indian, because in India everyone knows Djokovic, Federer, Nadal, maybe Murray, but not the others. Like unless you follow tennis closely. So if there's a news article saying an Indian beats Djokovic, people would lose their shit. Like it would be the biggest news in the country, and like Sumit's Instagram followers would be in millions by now. I would say, I don't know, like at least few 100K increase. So I mean, yeah, it's a huge deal. Like not just Sumit, but like if any Indian player beats Djokovic, it's crazy big achievement. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, you never know. Something could be in the works in 2024. Never give up hope. Mario, what are you seeing so far in the match that we're watching between Paul and Nardi? Anything that's happening? Any trends? Any tactics on offer?
I mean, it's been an interesting start because all the two players are trying to impose themselves. I feel like Nardi is trying to hit with power from the baseline, try to not let Tommy do his game, which is actually a game based more on the angles, trying to come to the net when possible. Has this solid baseline game with both swings, the forehand, the backhand. But I would feel like it's more Nardi that is trying to be more aggressive than usual, as he already did against Djokovic, and successfully. He did a few mistakes, but overall both are just trying to maximize what they currently are, their best qualities. And I feel like both have been quite able to do that at times. So it's still early, in my opinion, to feel in which direction the match tactically has is going, because both are trying to impose themselves.
Yeah. I mean, of course, the winner of this is to face Casper Ruud in the next round. Am I right? I think he beat a pretty epic match against veteran Gael Monfils. Did any of you guys manage to catch that one directly before this one?
Yeah, I actually saw the second set and the third set a little bit. Was really hoping for actually Monfils to win it because he brings that kind of excitement to the sport like not many other players can. And despite the fact that he's 36, 37, I'm not really sure exactly how old he is, but 37, yeah. So to do what he's doing at 37, it's insane. Like he came back from a set down in each of his matches so far. So maybe the key for him was to lose the first set, which he did not today. So yeah, I mean, but it was still a close match. Monfils had a shot in the second set, like 4-all, love 30, like a long rally that he lost that he should have won, I would say. Yeah, maybe it was his chance to close the match, which he couldn't. And then, like, I've noticed this over the years following tennis. If you've won the first set and then you lose the second set tiebreak, if you see the stats, the third set is usually like in majority of cases in favor of the person who's won the second set tiebreak because you get the mental edge.
Now that's interesting. That is interesting. I'm sure that there'll be some data analyst somewhere trying to mine that information. So good stat there, that's a good stat.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't have all the data, but like I have like manually sort of observed those matches and seen that about like 70% goes in favor of the player who's won the second set tiebreak and managed to turn it around. But yeah, maybe the actual data would be somewhere around, but like 50 to 70% is like a big difference. So yeah, I mean that's something that usually happens in tennis. But yeah, Monfils is a legend, I would say. Yeah, it would be nice to have him in the quarters, but Casper Ruud is also a great player, so it'll be interesting regardless.
Well, I was going to ask Mario, because Mario, I actually saw your tweet about Casper Ruud just before we came on to this stream tonight about Casper Ruud and his record in Masters 1000 events. Do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about what that stat is, and then we can look into it a little bit?
Yeah, basically, reaching the quarters in Indian Wells, Casper has done it in all the Masters tournament, but Shanghai. But I actually checked, and he only played once in Shanghai, so he has kind of an excuse for that. So basically, of all the Masters he played at least twice, all the other 8 Masters tournament, he reached at least the quarters in at least once in each of them, and that actually means quite a lot because he has been able to adapt really well to all these different conditions that we may have in all the Masters tournaments. And yeah, he's playing very solid this year. Hasn't won a title, lost a couple of finals, but if we compare from what happened in 2023, this year we are back seeing a very, very consistent route, winning at least a couple of matches basically every week, and getting far in the tournaments. And his level is also quite high, staying aggressive. Today also was really good, especially in the latest part of the match, of course, with his aggression game. So yeah, it will be also interesting to see him going forward. If he can keep his level high, then we know that also the clay European swing is also very successful for him. And let's see, it's an interesting start of the season because it is very promising in my opinion, despite having lost a couple of finals he played.
And as we speak, Nardi just saved a break point with an amazing backhand winner. So it's his first for the match. So yeah, insane.
Yeah, no, you're bang on. Just to kind of touch on Casper Ruud while the players sit down and have a break. it's crazy what, you know, a kind of pre-season, a proper kind of pre-season, maybe a break, instead of going to some, you know, daft exhibition with Nadal, which I think really kind of impacted his 2023 season, didn't it? And you know, for that stat that you rolled out there, Mario, for a player who a lot of people don't really kind of buy into too much, they're always kind of you know, saying that he got to 3 slam finals is a bit of a fluke,
Yeah.
and it all. I mean, that's a decent record for somebody who, you know, like I say, a lot of people write off.
Yeah, I mean, it's great also because, you know, also shows about his, I would say also versatility, which has been a bit underrated. You know, of course, he broke through thanks to, you know, to picking on clay early on. You know, his first big results. You know, most of his titles are on clay, and also his, you know, his first Masters semifinals came in Rome, in Madrid, in Monte Carlo in 2021, for example. But then, you know, he's actually learned pretty well to do well on the hard courts, and maybe not getting many of these very, very big wins against the, you know, the very top players, but you know, he has been very solid, and also been able to use his chances well when, you know, some draws have opened up a little bit. He has been there ready to take his chance, and that's also why he has so many big finals, and also 3 in Grand Slams, as you were mentioning. So yeah, I feel like he's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Just to mention, I think you may have saw it on the screen, the scoreboard. Coco Gauff making short work of Elise Mertens' Love and 2. I think that one was. So she's through to the next round. Not too sure who she could potentially face, but it's her birthday, her 20th birthday. Coco Gauff is 20. It feels like she's been around for, you know, forever.
Yeah, it feels like she's been around for 20 years.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Just on this, Tommy Paul right now, so far so good in his latest service game. He's 30 love up. The players are rallying at the moment. Tommy Paul with a forehand up the middle of the court. Although Nardi looks left taking over the point, he's dictating where the ball's landing. He's went for a big forehand. It's been picked up by Tommy Paul and it's went long. So yeah, Nardi seems to be making a lot of the aggression, you know, count in these longer ball rallies. What else has been happening in Indian Wells? Did anyone catch the Sabalenka defeat today?
I heard about it. I was surprised because the way Sabalenka has been playing this year, it's hard to see her lose, or like imagine her lose rather, because she has kind of found the perfect balance between power and control, like aggression and control. Because if you saw Sabalenka play a few years back, so she actually came to Mumbai for a WTA 125K event 4 or 5 years back,
Nice
and
one.
she won the title there. But like you could see that her game is really raw.
Yeah,
She could hit winners, but she also made a lot of errors. But I think now she knows with experience that which are the balls she should attack, how she should construct the point, when to pull the trigger. So I feel like we knew, like, if once she figures that part out, she has a huge game. And I think she has been able to put all of it together. Huge kudos to her team to have worked on the right things. And now she, despite the loss today, I think she is gonna have a huge career.
yeah, absolutely. Multiple. I mean, already a multiple Grand Slam winner. But you know, she should be looking up to the higher end of, you know, 8, 9, 10 slams by the time she calls it a day. I think. Obviously, Iga Swiatek now the clear favourite for the event on the ladies' side.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm just looking now. Tommy Paul has held serve. I know the scoreboard needs to catch up a little bit. He seems to be the one that's really pushing. I think Nardi saved a break point in that last one. Do we know where Nardi is in the live race? I just checked this out. I know you mentioned he's breaking into the top 100 next week. Vatsal. But do you know where he is in the live race at the moment because of that win against Djokovic?
95, right above Smith, actually.
96, I think it was. I had it as, but yeah, 95, 96. So, like you say, making a top 100 debut. I mean, do we know, or have we got an idea of what this guy's ceiling is, in terms of his career? I know he's very raw, it's very, very early. The same generation as Mario pointed out, as like Holger Rune and Alcaraz. But, is this guy going to mix it up with these guys in the next couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually thinking, yesterday, after I saw the result and, I saw then the match in the morning, I was actually thinking about how these guys made, some 20-year-olds looking, quite late, while, it's a bit of the normality being 20 and, and rising up, and breaking the top 100 is also huge for a 20-year-old. And I mean, of course, he's he's not flying at the same pace as them, but I feel like, of course, he has the quality, at least I would say, to play the main tour quite consistently. And so I would say that we will watch him, quite a few times. Let's say about that. And I'm not saying this just because he beat Djokovic, but because I feel like if he keeps working and he has another maybe couple of years to improve some parts of his game and his physicality also, and he will do fine, and no reason for him to not have as a goal to maybe stay in the main tour consistently.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go back, so.
No, I was just saying that to add to that, I was just looking at the qualifying entry list for Miami, and Nardi is actually unseeded there, and it's going to stay the same way because the new rankings don't come out before the Miami qualifying draw comes out. So all the seeded players in the qualifying in Miami would be hoping to avoid Nardi in the qualies because he's unseeded. You have the likes of Nakashima, Batista Agut, Kokinakis, all of them, Benoit Paire, Goffin actually is pronounced, Schwartzman. They're all in the qualies as seeds, and they will definitely be hoping to avoid Nardi over there.
Absolutely. And I like the kind of French lingo of David Goffin. So I like that there. Just to mention, so we have a breakthrough in this match. The scoreboard, I think, is stalled a little bit, but Tommy Paul has, according to my stream at least, he's just broken serve, so he'll be serving for the first set. He was putting a lot of pressure on the Nardi serve. He had 15-40. And again, coming to the net quite a lot, taking time out of Nardi's hands, not allowing him to, unleash that forehand. And he's got the breakthrough, Tommy Paul. So he'll be serving for the first set. I'm going to say there's plenty of you guys watching this stream, loads of you watching at the moment. So if you haven't already, and I know many of you have, but you can see the subscription counter in the bottom left-hand corner. Make sure you give us a like, a subscribe, follow us on all the socials. Let's get that number up. And by the way, that number has, skyrocketed recently. So just make sure you're getting in nice and early. Give us a follow, subscribe. Streams on every night. We might even have 2 on tonight because Medvedev and Dimitrov, I think, is coming up very soon because of the cakewalk that Coco Gauff has just enjoyed. So our producer might be able to tell us who is on that one. I'm assuming it'll be Damien and somebody. And we've got Rune Fritz at that's 1 a.m. UK time, so that would be 2 a.m. for yourselves. And Mario, am I right in saying that you're an hour ahead of me?
Yeah, exactly, an hour. Yeah.
And so you're the same in Paris,
right? So Mario, I thought you were also in Scotland. Is that not true? Where are you based right now?
Yes, Glasgow, Scotland, but we're an hour behind you.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
So
All
for
right.
me, it's 20-10, and for you, it should be what, 20-11, obviously.
20-11. Yeah. By the way, one a difficulty of this match for Nardi is that Paul plays a totally different.
I think we've lost you a little bit there, Mario, but I think what he was saying is the conditions are totally different from, playing the nighttime match. Oh, there you're back, Mario.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah, sorry, I've had a bit of an issue, connection issue. Yeah, I was just saying that I also felt like, of course, if Djokovic plays at his level, he maybe he wins that match. But actually, I feel like Nardi feels very well against these players who give him rhythm from the baseline, while Paul is not that kind of guy, because he likes to really mix things up, comes to the net quite often, plays some slices, and also his shots are different because are very flat. And so yeah, I can feel why this can be difficult in a way, after having got that win over Djokovic, to be ready to face this kind of of game that Paul likes to play.
Yeah, well, breaking news here is Tommy Paul has now just clinched that first set again with a volley. The clear tactic is take the time away from Luca Nardi, and he has claimed the first set. It's going to be difficult for the young Italian from here, isn't it, Vat? So what else does he have to do, or what can he change to try and change the momentum of this match?
I think he has to find a way, like you said, to prevent Tommy Paul from coming to the net. I think maybe there are multiple ways to do it. One would be for him to take charge and try and come to the net, maybe, because I was watching the highlights against Djokovic, and he had a good few drop volleys that he played while coming to the net himself. So maybe Nardi can try to change things up and take matter in his own hands, and maybe try to hit deeper as well, because if you hit deeper, then it presents lesser opportunity for Paul to hit an aggressive shot and then come to the net. So yeah, I mean, those are some things that he can do, but obviously it's easier for us to sit in a video stream and say these things, but
Very
yeah,
good
so,
point, Matt. So, a very
yeah,
good point. Just reminding us all that we're not professional tennis players. So who are we
exactly.
to judge these guys? Just to mention, the guys in the other stream, so Medvedev and Dimitrov are walking out onto court at the moment. A 41-minute first set. It's going to be difficult, for Luca Nardi. You get the higher beating, of achieving sometimes the unachievable, as he did on Monday night, and then having to, a crash bang down back to earth and face Tommy Paul. Mario, I was going to ask about the conditions. I mean, for Djokovic, I think it was it yourself or Vance or somebody was talking about, the losses that Djokovic has suffered in Indian Wells, and the conditions don't really suit him anyway. I just wondered, did you watch the highlights back, and is that doing Luca Nardi a disservice in the fact that people are basically saying that the conditions didn't really suit Novak Djokovic? Have you lost me, Mario? Hello? Okay, I think I may have lost Mario. Can you hear me, Vatsal? Yeah, you can hear me.
I can hear you, but I will unfortunately have to leave. But I can wait.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, let's chat again. And I'd love to sit down with you one time and learn everything I can about Indian tennis. So, mate, I appreciate you, giving us 40 minutes of your time, and I'm sure we will cross paths again very soon. I don't know what's happened to Mario, if he can hear us or see us or what. But yeah, anyway, Vatsal, you take care of yourself, fella. Okay.
Thanks a lot. It was lovely chatting. Thanks for your time as well. Thanks, Mario. I hope you're hearing this. And thanks to the producer as well. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Take care. Mate. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
See you, fella.
Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's Mario. Hello, Mario. You're back.
No. Yeah, I was trying to change my connection, but looks like I don't know. I'm having issue at times. Okay.
Watch our viewership plummet now because Batzel, I'm sure, will be very popular for his knowledge. So we're going to lose a good percentage of Indian viewers, I think. But anyway, hopefully not. Hopefully you stick with myself and Mario for the remainder of this match. We will give you engaging, compelling chat, won't we, Mario? Okay, that was good.
No, it's very
Oh,
bad.
hang-
I don't know why. I don't know why it's lagging.
You've not
I'm
paid the
trying to.
Wi-Fi bill, that's why, Mario.
Yeah, I wanted to change to the phone, but I can't find the phone, the phone connection on my laptop. I don't know why.
Technology, tell me about it.
I'm literally going crazy. Yeah,
Technology is
because
not
I
our friend.
whatever. Nardi held.
Nardi did
What are you
hold,
thinking
yes.
after watching the first set?
Yeah, I think yeah, the tactics were very, very clear from the start for Tommy Paul. You know, Tommy Paul's a really good server. Like, you know, he's pretty consistent. He doesn't lose actually, considering like, you know, he plays a lot of tennis. He doesn't lose a lot of service games. Tommy Paul, he always manages to grind away, and the tactic was clear. Get on top of the second server, Luca Nardi pretty early, push him back, and then you know take the court away, narrow the court, and you know finish him off with a volley. I'd like to see the stats. I haven't looked them up. I'd like to see the stats of how many times he came into the net and actually won the point. I'd be, you know, astonished if it wasn't upwards of 95% of the time.
Yeah.
He won the point, and so that's the clear tactic. I wonder if Luca Nardi, as you know, has got the experience and has got the know-how to try and figure out a way around that tactic. But you know, this is a guy who beat Djokovic in 3, could have folded in that third set the other night. He didn't. So the boy has obviously got a bit of character. He's got a bit of fight about him, and I think you know we'll maybe see a bit of a fight back for at least for a bit of this second set.
Yeah, it's looking difficult right now because you know I feel like you know Paul is one of these guys that actually often requires you to be a lot mature to face him the right way. You know, it's not. I think the player you want to face right away after having you.
Oh, I don't know if we lost him. Okay, I think he was basically Mario. I think what he was saying was like Luca Nardi getting over the Djokovic hill and then you know having to face Tommy Paul, one of the toughest competitors on tour, is not really the next round that you're wanting. I'll talk us through a couple of points at the moment. Remember, guys, if you can hit like, subscribe, let's get us to 10k by
I
rolling.
have another chance.
Mario is fighting the gremlins.
I have another possibility.
Listen, mate, don't you worry. Like I always say, at least when this AI take
Give
over
me
the
1
world,
second.
we know that they'll probably have a technical fault at some point. But yeah, so Tommy Paul game point 40-30, not lost serve. I think he's only faced what is it 2-1? He's only faced one break point. Good timing there by the producer. He's faced one break point, saved it. I think that was in the first service game he had. He's been pretty consistent so far. And Luca Nardi has just gone long with a forehand on a second serve. And it's Paul who takes or squares up the second set.
Yeah, we have an interesting question here.
Okay, I like interesting questions.
Will we have a first-time Masters champion this year? I would say yes.
Oh, okay, yeah. Was that because you're going to be saying who? Who are you saying who's winning it?
Yeah, I'm calling Deminor.
Deminor to win it?
Yeah.
Is Deminor not out?
No.
Did he not get beat?
No, he hasn't.
Okay. Right. Okay. Cool. So tell me the working. Tell me your workings. I want to see your workings, please, Mario. And then we can discuss.
No, I mean,
yeah, Diminutor's out, mate. Zverev beat him in the last round.
Yeah, I have this feeling, that he was in the final last year in Canada.
I'm saying he's not. He's been beaten. He's not in this tournament anymore.
No, he's not in this tournament anymore. Yeah, he's been beaten by.
Oh, right. Sorry,
by
I've totally misunderstood the question. I thought they were meaning at this event.
No. Okay, it's this year. That's why it wasn't.
I'm going. How can Diminutor win this event when he got beat the other night? How does Mario not know this? Okay,
yeah.
Clarified that. Right.
No. I know that Zverev won yesterday, so Diminutor is not in the draw anymore. But I don't know. He's one of these players. I feel like he has the potential to be.
I blame Sean Power for that, Mario. That's not our fault.
So yeah, if I have to mention one player, but overall I feel like there will be one. Masters tournament usually are not like the Grand Slam, and still we had a new Grand Slam champion already this year. They are more open, so I feel like there can be at times players who can step up. Maybe the draw also opens up a little bit. There is also the Olympics, so maybe the Canada Cincinnati swing will be more open than it usually is. So yeah, I feel like there is a good chance that we can have a first-time Masters champion.
Yes, okay. I don't disagree. I think Diminutor's a good shout. I'm trying to think who I can maybe counter with, but the top four are so far ahead. Maybe you've got Zverev, who's always in the mix these days. He's proper back, I suppose. Zverev. I think it'll be a very, very interesting tie in terms of Alcaraz Zverev, considering how dominant Sasha was in Melbourne. But I think I've watched two of the three Alcaraz matches so far. I've watched Auger-Aliassime and last night against Marchand, and I don't want to be too much of a fanboy of Alcaraz, but for me, I think he was looking back to 2022, start of 2023 form. He was looking confident, and I know he's spoken about that in his in his pre-tournament and his pre-match pressers. In terms of he was low in confidence for periods over the last 6 months. It has impacted him, but I had a wee feeling by watching him, he's picking his moments more clean, to go for the big forehands. He's a couple of points last night against Marchand. He took his time. He used the backhand slice, and then he picked his moment to go down the line at just bang the right time. So I think this will be a lot closer, shall we say, than Melbourne. I know that Zverev beat him at Turin as well than the indoor hard, but we all know that Alcaraz doesn't like the indoor. So I'm going to go for I'll stick the neck. Is it sticking the neck out when you're going for the world number 2 and defending champion? Maybe not, but I'm going to go Alcaraz for that one, Mario. I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this matchup between Zverev and Alcaraz so far has bin a lot conditions depending, meaning that usually in some kind of courts like lately in Turin, for example, there Zverev had an advantage, and maybe also the Australian Open a little bit. And I feel like these courts are, really good for Alcaraz's game. He feels himself really well, so I feel he will step on the court as the favorite, and I feel like he has a good chance to win, this one against Zverev. I feel like the chance at this point for a semi-final between Sinner and Alcaraz are quite good. Lechka is playing also very, very well. He did incredibly to beat in straight sets both Rublev and Tsitsipas, which, are still great players. So it takes a lot to beat them in that way, especially. But I feel like, Sinner right now is also another another kind of best. So I feel like there's a good chance we can have this semi-final between Sinner and Alcaraz. I feel like at this point this is the most probable thing, because I feel like in these conditions Alcaraz will have an edge against Zverev in tomorrow's match.
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of that's. That's a match that's looking probable, and also it's a match that the kind of tennis world, especially fans of the men's side of the game, are absolutely crying out for, because the last time we've not really seen the Alcaraz Sinner rivalry for a while now, and we've not really seen Sinner and Alcaraz since Sinner became the man of the moment. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of taken that mantle from Alcaraz, and it's just about now about how Alcaraz responds to that, and because there's a chance that we could get into a kind of it's Sinner being the dominant player in that rivalry, which 12 months ago you would be like you just wouldn't have thought of, you just wouldn't have fathomed that could be the case. So really interesting. I'm just looking through the draw at the moment. So the winner of this one, and by the way, Luca Nardi did save a break point again in that in this one. It's 1-all. It's on the Nardi serve. He's just done a strong serve from the deuce court out wide, and couldn't be returned by Tommy Paul. But he's basically clinging on here to stay in touch with Tommy Paul. It's a solid performance. As I say, Tommy Paul, it was mentioned by Vatchal, bit of form already. Dallas winner this year. Although saying that, Luca Nardi has just gone long with a pretty simple backhand. Yeah, sorry to digress. I was just looking at the draw. So the winner of this faces Casper Ruud, as we mentioned earlier on. Medvedev Dimitrov. We can maybe get into that one in a bit. That's the last 16 that's on at the moment. We've got Fritz Runa, Lehechka, Sinner. Can Lehechka do anything? I know you've said that we've got Sinner Alcaraz pretty much on the cards now at the moment. But Lehechka, I saw somebody in the chat, the Talking Tennis chat, talking about how when Lehechka's on this kind of form at his peak, he's very, very hard to play against. Can he cause Sinner any sort of problems? Surely.
Problems for sure. But at the same time, I feel like despite him playing amazing and actually beating straightforwardly both, Rublev, Tsitsipas, and doing it in such incredible way, but still, I feel like if he plays that level against Sinner right now, then maybe he can be dragged also in some kind of long fight. And so I don't know. Actually, Sinner right now is a different best from the other two in playing, especially in the important points and important moments. Doing really well, is also more solid, missing less and less. And so, yes, Paul breaks right now.
Yeah, Paul has broken serve, so he's taking charge of the second set.
I don't feel like Lechka is winning tomorrow, if I have to be honest.
Yeah, Sinner's looking at a different beast these days. It could have been a tricky tie against Ben Shelton, but in the end, he managed to see him off fairly comfortably. Even given the energy that Ben Shelton brings, especially from on home soil. So he's looking pretty unbeatable at the moment. Yogesh, so predictions, I assume you're talking about the match we're watching now. Obviously, Tommy Paul is taking charge of this one. He's just, to be honest, I don't like using the word, but he's just bullying Nardi a little bit on the court. He just looks obviously a lot more cooler and calmer and a lot more experienced at the moment. He's reading the the times to kind of push him back and push him all over the court, and it was actually a wide backhand by Nardi on the run that secured the break for Tommy Paul. So well in charge now, a set and a break up, and hopefully it stays competitive. I'm sure it will. But yeah, I don't really give Nardi much chance for this. For the remainder, I'm afraid, but I'm sure he'll go away. And being in the top 100 now will open up a lot more doors for him. Mario, any way back for Luca Nardi, your countryman, any way back at this moment?
Looking difficult, honestly. Paul seems really, aware of what he has to do to control the match. It's not like Nardi is playing bad, but Paul is has. We were talking about the tactical side, and differently from the very beginning, where I said that both, I felt like both were trying to impose their game. I feel like, Paul has made it right now. So we are playing this match in the way the American wants, this, let's say, I feel like he makes the difference with this flat backhand shots, which then, makes him open the court really well. As you all were mentioning, coming to the net quite often, but because he usually plays with these great angles, and but we have a good situation right now, lap 30. For Tommy Paul, if he wins today, would be 4th Masters quarterfinal. He's been semi-finalist in Canada last year, lost to Sinner.
Would this be his first Indian Wells quarterfinal, would it?
First in Indian Wells, and 4th in general. Twice in Canada and once in Paris.
Brilliant. Lovely. I mean, he was in a bit of trouble there, and he still is, but at love 30 down, a really strong first serve down the tee, and on the +1, he just did a wee deft drop shot that kind of confused Luca Nardi and won the point. So I'll talk us through this one, because it is an important moment at the moment. If he can get back to 30 all, he's out of trouble a little bit. So he's at a backhand now, as you say, Mario, finding the angles here from Tommy Paul, and a wild backhand attempt up the line by Luca Nardi. Goes wide of the tram marks, 30 all. Now, come on, guys. That's a couple of you joined. Let's see if we can push that number up again. Thank you to you guys who have just joined. As I say, the numbers are going up all the time, so you're in a big community here. So yeah, get subscribing, get liking, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I think, or we're on Twitch, YouTube, obviously. So I don't think it's Facebook. I don't know where I got that from. So just give us a follow.
What are you thinking about this top half of the draw? If you have to make some prediction, who are the players?
Okay. I'd say, let's just assume it's Casper Ruud and Tommy Paul. Okay. That's a close one for me. I saw Damien mention that it was a strange kind of match today against Game On Feast, because the second serve was a bit all over the place, and it was only in the second set tiebreak where the Ruud's forehand came out. But I think, for me, Casper Ruud is back to playing 2022 tennis. Probably, the highest of his career so far, or there or thereabouts. He's back, I think. So he's once again an opponent where he can take on the players from about 5 downwards, 10 downwards. So I don't think it's all Tommy Paul. I think Casper Ruud will maybe sneak that one. Although I don't think he enjoys playing Tommy Paul. I don't know the head-to-head record, but I'm sure it's maybe in Tommy Paul's favour. We'll check that out in a second. Next one, who you want me to check? Well, we've got. Let's go Medvedev, Fritz. I think Medvedev. Those four: Dimitrov, Medvedev, Fritz, and Rune. Although the conditions are quite slow for Daniil, aren't they? Okay, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to say Taylor Fritz wins out of those 4. What about you?
Yeah, let's say that Fritz Indian Wells, of course he's already a champion here.
Yeah.
For sure. And, just to think that he won 20 matches here and not even 10 in all the other 8 Masters tournaments. So, that basically underlines how well he finds here. And I feel like...
I watched him in his match. Who was he playing yesterday? And I thought he was really impressive. Like, I thought that was a tricky tie. 2 seconds. Who was he playing? Sebastian Baez.
Yeah, third round. Yes, third round. This is the
but
fourth
also
round.
Actually, Tabilo, I thought he might, at least be taken to 3 against Tabilo, and he just saw him off pretty comfortably. So yeah, you're right. I think Taylor Fritz loves it here. Former champ, a hometown lad. I think the slow conditions with his serve. I don't think Daniil likes it too much because of the a little bit slower. So I mean, I think he'll struggle against Dimitrov today. I think I'm going to maybe go for Dimitrov in this one, and then Fritz for the Holger Rune, and then Fritz sees off Dimitrov to reach a semi-final. That's where I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm going with gonna probably be with Medvedev, because I feel like he's in the right place right now in his career to be able to sustain his level even in conditions he doesn't particularly like. And I feel like he's going with the right mindset right now. So maybe it would take a very, very big performance to take him out. And I don't know how many players right now in the draw really have the draw I'm talking about, of course, the top half only, really have this other gear in themselves right now to express this level. Just to make an example, Humbert in Dubai, which is then able to beat him. So I feel like he can be able to reach the final once again here.
Yeah, but I think you're going to go for the winner comes from either Sinner or Alcaraz. Is that right?
As the champion, you mean?
Yeah. So say Fritz is in this final. Who's he facing?
I think Carlos is confirming to be the champion.
I like it.
He will defend his title, I think.
So you must be seeing the same things that I'm seeing in the Carlos game, that he's back.
Well, my thing is that no, I mean, yesterday he played the 4th round, and I haven't watched that match. So I watched the 2nd and the 3rd round, and so I'm not. I don't have the best update possible, maybe. But yeah, I feel like he in matches against the top player, it can be, he can be back. I feel like, I never really considered his level as dangerously bad. Even if he missed some opportunities and didn't take that many big wins as he used to get. So I feel like he is that kind of player who can just be back suddenly playing his best tennis. I don't really need to see him let's say goating match after match to really say that he's back. If he's still in the draw, I would always fear him,
Well, let me tell you about that Marashan match. I watched it last night, and it was one of the most subdued. Do you know this word, subdued? As in, like, flat, like nothing happening in the match. The crowd were hardly clapping. They weren't cheering. Marashan looked absolutely dead on his feet. It was just a pretty underwhelming match, and he did what he needed to do. But I saw glimpses of the kind of timing when he's going to hit the big forehand. I saw glimpses that was coming back beforehand, and particularly go back to the Zverev Melbourne match. He was going wild with it. He was just thinking he was trying to like, you know, winner himself out of difficult situations, and he just wasn't getting the timing right at all. And this occasion, and I know that he's not maybe facing you know, his toughest challenge, but you know, he just looked like he was back to feeling confident. He looked confident again. I think that was the best way to describe it, a professional performance. Now, there is literally hundreds of you guys watching this stream at the moment. So please do subscribe and follow on the YouTube channel. It takes 20 seconds to do all of that.
Yeah.
And now you can hear us talk tennis whenever you want. What else is happening? Have you got two? Are you multi-streaming it at the moment?
Yeah, another let's say not super comfortable hold for Tommy Paul. We can't say that Nardi is not trying to be back in the match.
I mean, it would take an opening to come back now, wouldn't it? 4-2 and a set down. It would take a kind of Djokovic level performance from here on in, no?
Yeah, let's say that, you know, I feel like, you know, solid is the perfect word, you know, to describe Tommy's performance tonight. And, you know, this is making it more difficult, maybe because, you know, you watch maybe a bad mistake from your opponent here and there, and you start believing more and maybe being more, you know, also braver in some situations. But well, I wouldn't say that he's not doing, you know, that he's doing bad. I would be, you know, harsh on him. I feel like he's playing a decent match, and Paul is doing really well in, you know, on return to make, you know, Nardi always you know, prolong the rally, drag Nardi into some rallies maybe he doesn't really feel comfortable with, and yeah, it's not been easy so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm checking out Davy's comments. Hello, Davy. Like, subscribe to us, please, if you haven't already. But he is gutted because he wanted Nardi to win. You know, it's not all over for your boy yet, Davy. He has 2 game points up. I'd be interested, Mario, to get your thoughts on if you've not disappeared. He has disappeared.
Yeah, one moment.
All right, apologies, Mario. So it's hard to do this in a live stream when the guy you're asking questions to vanishes. Yeah.
I got the notification from my laptop that the laptop was dying, the battery.
No. Telling you, do you know what? You're having more problems with the machines than Neo at the Matrix. Tell you that. Right, so back to the tennis. We have Nardi game point up, and once Nardi wins this game, if he does, I will pose you my question. It wasn't really that great a question. It was just about the other tennis match that's on at the moment. Medvedev a break up in that 4-2. Dimitrov serving 15 love. I'd just be interested to get your take on that one. You know, in terms of a winner, I think it's very, very close. I think the pair last met in Rotterdam. I just wondered, you know, these two are very, very similar in terms of their game styles. So I just wondered what you thought of the Medvedev-Dimitrov.
I honestly think, you know, Medvedev are gonna win this one in straight sets.
Okay.
I don't know if you know. I know that Dimitrov is able to beat him. He did it a few times before. I don't know. I feel like, as I mentioned before, feel like Medvedev right now is in a great state mentally and playing, well on these courts, even if he doesn't like them, maybe that much, but he's very, very focused. I watched him in, even against Korda. It was a bad quality match overall, but mentally Medvedev did, great job to stay there and to approach the challenge against a player who had beaten him twice before in the right way. So I feel like maybe the potential quarterfinal between him and either Fritz or Rune can be even more testing. Not that I don't trust Dimitrov, but I feel like he should be fine, even if maybe a close straight sets win. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, that's good. Okay, well, I'll be interested. I wondered, did you see on your screen for the Medvedev Dimitrov guy, the guy who's just sitting doing like some sort of mad yoga pose in the crowd?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What is going on? Just standing like this?
Yeah. I would need it at times, but I'm not able to do that.
I tried yoga once, Mario, and I am not a very flexible fellow.
No, it's not
do
that
any of the poses.
I'm not really a calm person. I'm super agitated always. For me, I even struggle to sit down for some hours consecutively.
I hear that, brother. I hear that. It's all about breathing in, an 8-second breathe in to just chill, relax. Anyway, Nardi is kind of last chance saloon, not just yet, but Paul is 30 love 4-3, a breakup in the second set. A couple of points away from just being the game away from the match. And he's just served a pretty strong down the tee serve that Nardi can only get his racket to. So yeah, looking like it's curtains for Luca Nardi. I just wondered what else is happening.
Yeah, that volley was beautiful.
Yeah, and he just went wide with a forehand there. So fist pump from Tommy Paul. You'll like to see it out here, and then no more sit downs for him, I'm sure. It's only an hour and 16 minutes long, this match, 17 minutes long. It's flown by because of your enthralling chat, Mario. So what else you watching? Are you going to stay up for Taylor Fritz?
Difficult.
Or is it bedtime?
I would say that it's difficult. Maybe we'll watch it in the morning.
What's funny? I woke up and I know that I think Scott in the Talking Tennis chat had said or tweeted something, but I generally woke up on Tuesday morning and I was like, it's going to be pure weird when I look in the TNNS app and look at Nardi is beating Djokovic, and I looked in the app and he'd beaten Djokovic. And I was like, I cannot believe this. I just kind of said it to myself, and then it actually happened. But it was the first thing I'd looked at. So I always find it hard not to check the tennis scores first thing in the morning. That's why I bring it up. So I'm rubbish at watching.
I am so crazy. I am so crazy that if there's no tennis going on during the night, I actually, can even oversleep the alarm. But when I know that there was some tennis going on, as soon as the alarm, start ringing, I wake up, go to the phone, check the scores.
Yes, that is a true tennis diva, a true tennis disciple, Mario. I love it. So we're on 15:30 on the Nardi serve. Paul is 2 points away. Mario, at the same time as being elated for his boy Tommy Paul, is disappointed for his other boy, Luca Nardi. At one point we thought before pre-stream, Mario was telling us always that funny thing about this Tommy Paul and Luca Nardi match, and myself and the producer thought he was going to hit out with something like he was a long lost relative of Luca Nardi, and he just went on to say, I pure love Tommy Paul.
Yeah. I have to be honest, but I say it because I'm able to maintain my
Loyalty.
ability.
You're a loyal fellow.
Yeah, my ability, you know, of judging fairly over
Well,
the players. So there are too much points
for your
here.
favourites. Yeah. So I'll try and talk us through this one. So he's 7 on the juice score. Obviously, Nardi 1540 down. The players are rallying. It's a miss-hit forehand by Tommy Paul, though. And he has one more chance to see this out in less than an hour and 20. We'll just hit the hour and 20 minutes mark now. So less than 90 minutes if we can see this over the line.
Yeah.
And the players are rallying backhand to backhand cross court at the moment on the ad side. And Luca Nardi has just gone long and wide. Game, set, and match. Tommy Paul. Well played, Tommy. Professional again. Another professional performance from Tommy Paul. Found the angles. Outwitted his younger opponent. But Luca Nardi, it's been a good week for him, hasn't it, Mario?
Yeah, absolutely. Great week. Great week. But I mean, that win over Djokovic, you know, already makes this, the week amazing. And then there's also the top 100 debut. So, you know, absolutely good.
Yeah, a first Indian Wales quarters final for Tommy Paul. A first trip into the top 100 for Luca Nardi. Many people who didn't know the name Luca Nardi will know him now. It's been a really, really good week for him, but the tennis does not stop there. We have another live watch along happening right this very second, as you will find whenever there's any tennis on the television or somewhere in the world. We'll be on here talking about it. So it's currently, I think, 5-3 to Medvedev. He's actually the set point. So if you jump over now, you will maybe get to catch Medvedev possibly winning that first set. Mario, anything to add before I bid you farewell?
Yeah, I mean, good things coming for both players because, you know, Nardi, as we were mentioning, a great week. And Paul, you know, must go to the final. For him is, you know, always a very, very good thing. And yeah, so will be an interesting one with Casper Ruud, actually. So I will really be, you know, tuning in to watch it because it's a match which is also, in my opinion, difficult to predict. And I love this kind of match.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Okay. As you can see, last chance to hit the like button on this video. Give us some love. But yeah, no, appreciate the joining us for an hour and a half tonight, guys. Thank you very much, Mario. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah,
Let's
thank
do
you
it
for me
very
too.
soon. And I need to try and remember what that T-shirt was that I was going to get, that you had, that saying that you said, and I was going to get you a T-shirt for it. I can't remember what it was, but I will remember. But anyway, right, take care. Have a good evening, all right?
Take care. Bye-bye.
See you later, mate.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.